Why clarity disappears first under stress. Clarity is the first thing that stress steals. Not motivation, not intelligence, not character. Clarity. And once you understand that, you stop judging yourself and other people quite so harshly. In WKRP, this lives in the R, resilience and responsibility part of the framework. And in License to be Badass language, this is the S, stay the course, by learning how to regulate your emotions and your stress. This is also where my heart math training fits so naturally, because we're not talking about mindset in the abstract. We're talking about your nervous system. What does stress do neurologically? Stress isn't just emotional, it's biological. Under sustained stress, your brain shifts into survival mode. Higher reasoning goes offline first. Creativity narrows. Empathy thins out. Long-term thinking gets harder. The nervous system prioritizes safety over everything else. This isn't weakness, it's design. I've seen it from every angle. As a psychotherapist trained in cognitive behavioral therapy, we call it CBT, and neuroscience-informed practice, as a consultant walking into stressed-out radio stations, and as a human who's lived through health crises of business upheaval and grief. Good people make uncharacteristic decisions under pressure. That doesn't mean they've changed. It means their nervous system is overloaded. And that distinction matters because stress is a state, not an identity. Why do people freeze or disengage? When stress overwhelms capacity, people don't try less, they protect themselves. Freeze and disengagement are nervous system responses. They're attempts to conserve energy. Their brain quietly saying, this is too much. That's why stress shows up as withdrawal, silence, procrastination, emotional flatness. I see this everywhere. In radio, it looks like disengaged staff and checked out teams. In leadership, it looks like indecision mistaken for incompetence. In life, it looks like people who disappear when things get hard. And I push back, gently but firmly, against moralizing these responses. This isn't laziness, it's overload. Let's talk about pressure versus recovery. Here's something we don't talk about enough. Pressure alone does not produce performance. Pressure without recovery produces burnout, resentment, apathy, mistakes. Growth happens in the oscillation. Effort and rest, challenge and recovery, engagement and regulation. That's resilience. In WKRP, responsibility includes knowing when to pause. In the License to be Badass language, strength includes self-regulation, not self-neglect. And in leadership, sustainable cultures don't just tolerate recovery, they build it into expectation. This is where I quietly challenge hustle culture. Because relentless pressure doesn't make people stronger, it makes them brittle. We need compassion for cognitive overload. Compassion isn't indulgence, it's accuracy. When someone is cognitively overloaded, empathy restores safety. Safety restores clarity. Clarity restores agency. Without compassion for yourself or others, people will stay stuck in survival mode. This is where judgment makes everything worse. You can't think your way out of a dysregulated nervous system, and that's not a failure. It's biology. This is one of the reasons dead air, the day the music died, exists. Because silence isn't absence, it's signal. Withdrawal isn't rejection, it's overwhelm. Fractures happen when pressure exceeds relational capacity. Fiction gave me another way to tell the truth, especially the truths people don't yet have a language for. Stress steals clarity before it steals energy. You can't think your way out of a dysregulated nervous system. The goal isn't clarity under pressure, it's recovery afterward. These questions live inside my novel Dead Air too, because sometimes fiction reaches places that logic can't. If this resonates, you're not broken. You're responding exactly how a human nervous system does. And that's something we can work with.